Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the majestic Snare and this is my disembodied voice talking about 1,000 hours in Warframe. Now I am part of the elite now, you know, there's not many people that have done the length of time I have in Warframe, is there? Is there bollocks? So yeah, basically I wanted to give you a view and sort of thoughts and feelings around what it's like to have spent 1,000 hours playing Warframe, and I've done a number of these kind of milestone reviews and it's taken me a little while to get to 1,000, but I wanted to give you my kind of take on the situation. I did a 50-hour review back in, I think it was February last year, so roughly about 18 months ago, where I kind of had a very naive outlook on what Warframe was. It was quite evident in how I did the review, but it was very clearly stated. I wasn't assuming to take on, you know, or know everything there was to know about Warframe after 50 hours, and it was very evident I didn't. However, the kind of position that most games kind of sell themselves on is they can only keep your attention for 50 hours. Warframe is definitely not one of those games. After 1,000 hours, I still find myself logging on every day for the most part. At the very least, to pick up a daily reward to do that, and maybe a couple of relics to be cracked, a couple of bits and pieces to try and get check on my foundry, check on my my particular progress on certain stuff. I am a collector when it comes to Warframe, so I'm spending a lot of time picking up and trying to complete what I haven't yet done, which is sometimes a bit problematic. Certainly when you have things like relics you need that have now been vaulted, Warframes that have been vaulted. I did try to do quite a bit of grinding when the first time that Nyx and Rhino were about to go back into the vault, and now they come out again, so it's like, damn it, I can pick that up now again. But anyway, so after 1,000 hours, how do I find the game? Well, let's be clear, the game itself hasn't really changed. The actual main gameplay and the main kind of locations I'll pop along to, as a matter of course, is pretty much the similar kind of thing every single day. One of the things that does or has changed for me is now that we have the open world areas, there's a lot more grinding to do there that I not necessarily had spent a lot of time in up until it was like, okay, what do I need to do now kind of moments. I did have a burnout, I did make a few videos on it, and that burnout's kind of faded and waned away again. So I'm once again enjoying my time playing the game and just chilling out, just kind of like casually playing it each day. There have been some weekends where I spent a little bit more time on it than I should have, and I always feel guilty when I do that because there is a whole entire planet outside my front door, and to be sat in just playing video games all weekend is something I used to enjoy, but as I get older, not really as much. But yes, certainly to touch on the points of Warframe, so the satellite services that you get around Warframe, the satellite kind of things that you can get involved in, I've really enjoyed since I did those first early reviews. So I regularly, if not consistently, watch the dev streams from DE on a sort of twice weekly, fortnightly basis, just to hear about what's coming and see what the new stuff's all about, and it's actually quite exciting. And TennoCon recently in July was a fantastic thing where I really got involved in that, thanks to my long-suffering other half who let me watch most of the streaming stuff on that Saturday without having to lift a finger. So thank you very, very much for that. But yeah, so for me, like, the whole story of Warframe is continuing. They're bringing out new open world areas. Obviously, since I did the 50-hour review, we've had the Fortuna update, we've had the number of different new Warframes come out, and at that time I think I'm still playing Excalibur, my starting Warframe. So now I've only got one more Warframe to get hold of, which I believe is Saren Prime. I've got all the other ones that I could get without them being fully vaulted or being a founder. Yeah, I've just really enjoyed myself playing Warframe again. I just don't know what else to add to that, apart from I know the value I give to Warframe and the value I get back out of it, and there's a nice dialogue there. We've recently had the Nightwave event kickoff, which I think is a nice new kind of mode that's not its own thing, but it does allow you to do other activities and still get more rewards for those things. So I'm a big fan of the Nightwave addition to Warframe. It's definitely, the fact you can see the rewards you can work up to level by level is quite endearing, and it makes you want to do those particular missions and keep up to date, and the end result of this current season is some cosmetics for your operator that I just basically want right now. So there's DE are just doing all the right things to keep me engaged. There's lots more smaller events coming out sort of this year than there was last year. I think they were working on Fortuna quite heavily, but certainly the big thing for me looking forward to the future is Empyrean. As we sit here in July 2019, Empyrean is something that I am absolutely stoked for. I cannot wait to get my hands on Empyrean. It's going to be fantastic, and I now would like to start recruiting into my clan so we can actually have a lot of people who might want to play together. So if you are one of those people that want to get involved and don't have a clan yet, then if you're playing Warframe, just hit me up, Snare Van Dam, inside Warframe, and I'll sort you out. It'd be fantastic to have some new people, new blood in the clan, start building up. It's pretty much been me and my friend Keith, so hello Keith. But yes, so in terms of Warframe as it sits now, as I feel about it after 1,000 hours, it's over 41 days in real time I've spent playing this game, which is insane. I mean, if I hadn't eaten or slept for a month and a half, I would have died, but I could have played Warframe in that period, so that's all good. Now, one of the comparisons I made in my 50-hour review that I want to bring back is I said, it's the difference between a hamburger and a steak. Like, one is to be just scoffed and sustain you, the other one is to eat with some peas and chips and actually savour the steak. Apologies to all the vegans out there, but can't really do that with soy. Anyway, so I'm in that frame of mind where Warframe is a game that is so multi-layered in its complexity, in its depth, and the expansiveness and the amount of content that you can't just jump on for 10 hours and do a review of it. It's impossible. The game is just, there's so much going on, there's so much content. It would be an insult for me to try and put it all together in one video, but I just want to give you my impressions of the game. If you want a decent and a better, more accurate impression of the game, just go and jump in yourself and have a go. You're talking to someone here that spent 1,000 hours and then some going through playing the game and playing it pretty much every day, which is insane. I think one of the biggest pull points, and everyone does kind of agree on this, that the cinematic quests, the story type missions that you get in Warframe, they're the bits that hammer home in the heart. They're very well designed, even not just the major ones, but for me particularly, the story that is combined with the mission to get Harrow, or to understand about Harrow, one of the Warframes. Absolutely phenomenal writing, and scary as shit in places if you're playing it with the lights off, and headphones on of course. But it's something that I don't see too often in other games. The quality of writing and the quality of how it's framed, just in awe of Digital Extremes sometimes, I have to say. I am a bit of a fanboy now. You've got to remember that Warframe always has something to do. I mean, if you can log on, you'll always have something you can get stuck into, grind for, collect, win, get lucky with. So I really don't know how else to kind of talk about Warframe apart from in glowing terms. I'm looking forward to Empyrean, the next kind of the big thing that I'm expecting to get my teeth stuck into, which is actual big ship squad-based space battles, which is combining all elements, it seems, of Warframe and including in sort of a nemesis system that they've had in other places, and a new kind of Assassin's Creed-esque fucking dagger coming out of your hand to hack stuff and to kill people. So I am just absolutely on tenterhooks. I want Empyrean now. I'm loving the dev streams. I really enjoyed TennoCon. The game itself is a big part of my gaming life now, a huge part of my gaming life, and I've even had a go at purchasing one of the collectibles, which was far too expensive to get over to the UK, so I won't be doing that again. But it's a lovely Nick statue. I'll try and get a picture of it for you. But yes, overall, after 1,000 hours, it isn't fading, and I'm having lots of fun. One of the parts, or two parts, I've not actually involved myself with in Warframe, even over those 1,000 hours, is I haven't touched Conclave, which is the PvP area. I don't want to play PvP. I come to Warframe for PvE, and also the trading. I've not really traded much, so I can't really comment on how the trade chat works, and certainly for you guys on the consoles, apparently it's a very convoluted process in order to kind of work with trading in the console space, so I really don't know what to say about that. I don't really want to make too many comments about it, because I've traded things with friends, but only because we can give each other stuff that we need and we can spare, not necessarily doing it for platinum, but I've spent money on platinum. I've spent money on the game, probably more on this game than any other game I've ever played, and it's just to remember one main thing about Warframe is that it's fucking free. You don't have to be spending money on platinum. You can earn it from grinding stuff in game and selling that to a likely bidder, but at the end of the day, if you want to collect everything, you will need platinum for it, just for slots and cosmetics and things which you can't actually create. You have to sort of buy those. But I will stand by, they don't shove it in your face all the time to say, buy this here, buy this here. It's just in menus and it has a price next to it. It's not as bad as some other companies are doing, but just remember, it's really, really a free game, a truly free game. There are chances and things to buy, but it is a free game. And one other point I just want to mention is the whole thing about Mastery Rank, MR. Mastery Rank does not denote how good a player is. It's just the player. I mean, I'm Mastery Rank 21 and I just can't beat the next fucking Mastery Rank test, but I'm certainly not a fantastic Warframe player, but my MR's quite high because I've collected things, I've ranked them up, I've got those points and I've done the tests. It doesn't make you a better player, so don't take it for granted, and when you're playing with people, don't assume that they're idiots because they are a low Mastery Rank, and likewise don't expect them to be aficionados just because they're high Mastery Rank. If you're worried about the end game of Warframe, because people think, oh okay, you've spent 1,000 hours, you must know what the end game is like, I'd say the end game is what you really make it. I mean, there are probably less and less things to grind for, you know, when you've got to that point and it becomes a bit more monotonous. But for me, I've left some areas of Warframe kind of untouched a little bit because it's something I wanted to get into once I focused on other things. So for me, a lot of the work in the open world areas I didn't really spend a lot of time on, because I felt it was kind of superfluous to everything else. But as I find out, it's all really connected. I mean, all the stuff you're doing with the mining and the fishing in the open world areas, not to mention the conservation and the floof hunting and whatever it's actually called, but all those kind of additional pieces of activity you can do in Warframe is, to me, it's an expanded element of it. You're still getting resources to do the things, and it's just a lovely extra thing you can do with friends. There's nothing much really more for me to say apart from I'm still enjoying it. I want to say a big thank you to a couple of people from Reddit who I posted a sort of a request for points to cover in this particular video. So I want to say a big thanks to Amazed Alloy, Scarstrix, The Zetman, Het Saber, and Oblivious Junior 2, and of course my friend Keith, who gave me some info and kind of insight into what things they would want to see in a 1,000-hour review video. I have been rambling for quite some time. I hope it's been okay. We do have videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so please check back then for some more awesome content. And like and subscribe to the video, the usual stuff people say at the end of videos. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching and take care of yourselves. Okay, love you, bye bye.